Right, we're going to kick off with biology and paper 1, combined sciences. Can anyone put in the chat how many required practicals are there off the top of your head? Do you want to stick a number in the chat, anybody, to let me know what you think? Go on, be brave. Have a guess. How many are there for biology? 3. Okay, thank you for the suggestion. Anybody else want to pop in? Okay, yeah, all right, brilliant stuff. That's helpful. Thank you for that. So depending on whether you're combined sciences or biology, there's 5 for combined sciences and there are 6 for the straight biology. So you can see the list here. There's microscopy, work you'll have done in year 7, but you do specifically again in year 9 or year 10, that is more specific and applicable to GCSE, and it will have the magnification calculation in it as well. Microbiology is the one that's only for the separate science biology. Everyone should have done osmosis, food tests, enzymes, and photosynthesis. So being aware of those is super, super helpful. And I recommend that you RAG rate these, as in if it's green, brilliant, you can give it a tick. If you kind of go, oh my gosh, enzyme practical, I've no idea what you're talking about, that would be red. Okay, so again, these slides will be available for you to look at in your own time. Often the osmosis practical needs some work on it as well. So do be clear on whether you understand that practical and you've done revision on it. So we're going to jump straight in to a question. Now, some of the words are in bold, and they're in bold for a reason. And these are command words that we're going to talk more about in the next session. So I'm just highlighting them for the time being. And it's a really good strategy for exam technique across all the sciences to use a highlighter when you've got a paper version, to think about what the command words are, and then also what are important words in the question. So describe is basically the process, so it's step by step. How you would test a sample of food to show it contains protein. So protein is a specific type of biological molecule, therefore there is a specific inverted commas food test for it. In addition to that, you need to give the reason for any safety precautions. Note it says plural S, so you can put in more than one. So it's a 4-mark question. It's likely that it could be divided 2 by 2, 2 marks for the describe, 2 marks to give safety precautions. Key thing, you need to give reasons for the precautions as well. Okay, not just the actual precaution itself. So level of detail, it's 4 marks, therefore you need to put a minimum of 4 steps in your answer to get 4 marks. Okay, and we've highlighted the words that are important to focus on in this particular question. So I put this diagram in here, this image, it's from BBC Bite Size, to give you a little bit of a recap from this. Can anyone pop in the chat any important keywords that you might take notice of in this image? Anyone want to suggest anything? There are a couple that are really important. Okay, good. Yeah, actually shaking once the mixture, the sample and a solution are put together for the test, the fact that it's part of a method to shake it. Anything else that is specific to this food test? Has anybody noticed? Okay, so the 2 key things, okay, solution, mixture, yeah, they're brilliant chemistry words, which is excellent stuff. Biuret, yeah, absolutely fab. So this word here, biuret, is essential in order to get marks in this question. So you have to specify that to the solution of food, so food crushed up, mixed in water as a solution, has the biuret reagent or solution added to it, it's shaken well, and then you see if there is a result. So the positive result, and you can see there's a color change, is purple. So those are the essential things we need to put in there. So just going through this, it could be a useful way that you could revise thinking about food tests for biology. The actual tests you need to know about are starch, sugars, glucose, fats and protein. Yes, there's some revision there for minerals, fiber, water, vitamins, but they're not part of the food tests. So those are the 4 that you need to know about. And there's a link there to the practical if you want to recap it. Looking at this question in more detail and having a look at the mark scheme, this is where I advise you to jot a few things down. As it's a 4-mark question, the way it is marked is leveled. So if you want to get 4 out of 4 or 3 out of 4, it's considered a level 2. So you have to make sure there are scientifically relevant facts, the events or processes are identified and given in detail with an accurate account. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for. Okay, so if you have a look on a mark scheme and you say indicative content, it's a list of steps that can be included. So this is what you would get credit for. There are more steps than there are marks, which is great, but it's also broken up into the describe, which is the grinding of the food, the using of the bioreactor reagent, the fact that the protein will turn purple, which is the positive. So those first ones are relevant to the describe, and the give reasons for the safety precautions. Many students in this question, and I've marked many exam papers, would just write wear goggles. Okay, that's not good enough, because wearing goggles alone, if you write that, does not give a reason. So the reason behind it is in order to protect your eyes. So you need that level of detail to get the mark. And then we have another one. If there are any spills, you need to clean them up immediately. The reason being is because the chemicals in the process, the bioret, could be an irritant, could be corrosive, could be poisonous. And that will allow you to get 4 marks. So you can see the level of detail there. So this is where I advise you could use this as a flashcard. You could write one side, test for protein, and on the other side, grind up the food, put it in a solution, add bioret, turns purple. That's a great way of remembering it and help for you to learn it, and how you can use language from mark schemes to do so.